let's talk about the WNBA. They have made an offer that the players probably best not refuse at this point. It is a sizable offer. It is a step up from what was already a very lucrative offer that was, roughly almost 4 times what they're getting paid right now. Something right around, it was around $1 million a year on a Supermax. Some came out and said it was $850,000. The WNBA is stepping up their game now.
The WNBA just dropped a bombshell proposal for a new collective bargaining agreement, and it's something nobody has ever seen before. We're talking about salaries absolutely skyrocketing, with max contracts smashing through the 7-figure barrier for the very first time in league history. Yeah, you heard that right. Caitlin Clark could be pulling in over $1 million a year. But here's the kicker. There's a catch that's stirring up some serious controversy among the players. This deal has the power to completely reshape women's basketball as we know it. So I gotta ask you, what do you think? Should the WNBA players jump on this historic raise, or should they dig their heels in and fight for even better terms on revenue sharing? This is a move nobody saw coming. A complete financial game changer for the sport. This isn't just a little salary bump, it's a total overhaul. For the first time ever, the max salary could top $1 million. Let that sink in for a second. Players in the WNBA could become millionaires just from their league salary. That's never ever happened before. This is truly historic.
Now officially over $1 million. Now part of this is, and this is going to be interesting because $1 million or over $1 million sound a lot better 6 weeks ago before the emergence of Project B and actual WNBA players signing with Project B for what has already been, it's already been revealed, a minimum of $2 million. And I can tell you right now, Gumake, Alyssa Thomas, and Jonquel Jones got more than $2 million.
But before we all start celebrating, there's a whole lot more we need to unpack here. You see, the last collective bargaining agreement was supposed to run out on October 31st, 2025. The league and the players' union agreed to push that back 30 days to November 30th, just to give themselves a little more breathing room to negotiate. And it looks like the WNBA used that extra time to cook up an offer they thought the players couldn't refuse. According to the reports, this new deal would kick in for the 2026 season and include some absolutely massive pay raises. For players with 0 to 2 years of experience, the minimum salary would jump to $20,000. That alone is a huge step up. But get this, for players with 3 or more years under their belt, the minimum would soar past $460,000. We're talking about quadrupling the previous minimums. These are life-changing numbers for the rank-and-file players who aren't on max deals. And speaking of max deals, the maximum salary would blast past $1.1 million per player. And here's the really important part. Multiple players on the same team could get that max contract. This is a huge departure from other sports where only 1 or 2 guys can get that top-tier money. Under this plan, a team could have several superstars all earning over $1 million, which is revolutionary. It means teams could build legitimate championship super teams while paying all their stars what they're worth. And on top of all that, these salaries would keep going up over the life of the agreement, giving players consistent raises year after year. For Caitlin Clark, the impact would be massive. As one of the top players in the league, she'd be looking at a max salary earning over $1 million a year, a number that would have been pure fantasy just a few years ago. The fact that she can even reach that level shows just how much the entire landscape has shifted and how much her presence alone has forced the league to change.
Exciting news just recently about the new offer from the WNBA to the players with a max salary of $1.1 million that goes up each year of the contract, plus a higher league minimum at $220,000. So all really, really good news. Things are trending up in that way. Now, we still have one major problem, at least one major problem. And in all actuality, this is what is stopping the deal from getting done right here. It's in black and white. You can see it. This is what is stopping the deal from getting done.
But here's where things get complicated.
The Players Union, the WNBPA, has a list of demands that go way beyond just bigger paychecks. They're fighting for charter flights, so players can finally stop flying commercial and travel on private planes like other pro athletes. They're also pushing for better benefits, changes to the roster size, and a new prioritization rule that would give players way more control over their own schedules and their precious time off. These aren't just about money, they're about improving the fundamental quality of life for every player in the league.
Issues that go beyond just money.
We know all of that stuff. This is where we got to get to. The November 19th update. Okay? This is what is stopping the
But here's the real sticking point, the one thing that could blow this whole deal up: revenue sharing. The Players Union isn't just asking for a one-time raise. They want a system where their salaries are directly tied to the league's growth. And when you think about it, it makes perfect sense, right? If the league is raking in more cash, shouldn't the players, the ones actually generating that money, get a bigger piece of the pie? Right now, under the current deal, salaries only go up by a fixed 3% a year. That's it. It doesn't matter if the league's revenue doubles. The players only see a tiny 3% bump. They currently get about 9% of all the money the league makes. Now compare that to the NBA, where players get between 49 and 51% of the revenue. The gap is absolutely staggering. The WNBA's new offer, despite the huge salary numbers, reportedly keeps this broken fixed rate system in place. So the league is basically saying, here's a historic raise, but we're not sharing the profits. This puts the players in an incredibly tough spot. On one hand, these salary increases are genuinely life-changing, minimums tripling and maximums quintupling. That's generational wealth. But on the other hand, if they turn this down to fight for revenue sharing, it's a huge gamble. What if the league just walks away? The stakes couldn't be higher, because without a new CBA, everything grinds to a halt. No expansion draft, no free agency, no 2026 WNBA draft. The entire season is at risk. Both sides know the clock is ticking towards that November 30th deadline, and if they don't have a deal, we could be looking at a work stoppage. And what makes this timing so interesting is that it comes right after stars like Alyssa Toss and Nneka Ogwumike signed with Project B, a new Saudi-backed women's league that's offering huge salaries and real equity. The emergence of leagues like Project B and Unrivaled gives the players real leverage. They can credibly say, if you don't value us, we have other places to play. The WNBA's massive offer is a direct response to that pressure. They're trying to lock their stars in before they lose them. It's a classic business move. Offer a huge fixed amount to avoid sharing a percentage of future growth. But the players' argument is simple. The league is exploding because of stars like Caitlin Clark, and they deserve to share in that success. The current system where they get only 9% of the revenue feels fundamentally unfair. This entire negotiation is a watershed moment. The WNBA is offering money that was unthinkable 5 years ago, and that's real progress. But the question remains, is it enough? What's more important, a massive guaranteed salary increase right now, or a fair share of the revenue for years to come?